Good morning. I hope you are doing fine with your fellow associates.
Morning to you, madam. My team and I are doing very fine on the other side.
Wow, I'm happy to hear that. However, I summoned you here so that we can discuss issues based on employee services at the company and the way customers perceive products. I'm after ensuring that we move a step upper since the company gains all of us not be alone. How do you see that?
Madam, this is a exciting approach. You are up to science the customers' participation. It's reflected on the increase of our sales. And the ones who are involved much with them are my team. Science handling of customers is upon us.
Probably very short, and I'm happy you know that. There are several recommendations I'm anticipating to put through to benefit you as the supervisor of other working staffs and ensure us raise our standards by being a friendly company. This implies that customers will be willing to buy our products and implies the customer will depict our essentialities for being here for them, and suppliers will be willing to cater to their services for us. At the same time, shareholders will learn to invest with us. However, and this will not happen alone, you have to help me mobilize your team. As James Smith noticed in her, we can make you work for less. The psychology of pay. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter in the reward pathways of our brains. You can get as much dopamine from someone saying that thank you or doing an excellent job as you do from a raise. The chemical effects are the same, I think. However, social construction trumps that. So intrinsic motivations is essential, but we also need money for certainty and security. If you don't get a bonus, but your boss treats you well, that will be made up for the release of dopamine in your brain.
I second your approach of putting my team members at a higher priority as the game changers. For the anticipated approaches of performance appraisal in the company, especially with this period of COVID-19, we are at a higher stake. If I remember, mobiles my team to work together towards the approach, pretty much uh, essence emphasis on them will enable management of stress, mostly due to the effects of the pandemic, will as make them involved in negotiation with their team leaders, which creates a crucial means of communication for ascertaining recommendations and more practice.
I like your approach since you have exmen- exmelified to me how you plan to motivate your team to work together as a team by putting them at a priority. There are some things you also need to effectuate it that employees could enjoy their jobs under your supervision. The problem is the social construct that affect our reflective or conscious responsible to reward can become toxic. literally. Many of our peers work a lot in finance services where people are financially intensified to extend themselves further and further to point where they drop dead or heart attacks. It happens all the time, you know that. Two of the most important psychological factors that are bearing on base pay a deeply ingrained need to fairness. We look for I think we look for rigor and transparency in the way our employers demanding uh, determine pay and progression, and a natural tendency to overvalue our own skills to others. The picture is complicated further by the fact that our relative pay is more important to us than the absolute amount we receive. So while transparency plays to our need for fairness, it is also likely to demotivate us if we can see others earning more. And I think as we are all team leaders, you should work with your employees to give them a team spirit and sense of belonging as leaders work with members. You should also, this concern means to remind employees of their company objectives daily so that they can be focused on achieving a particular goal. And you also should have to entail persons to person discussion with your employees to explain to you if you are issues of conflict. And especially in the pandemic times, these serious occasions within the organization, and also to provide a means of trustworthy between you and them. Furthermore, eventually find ways to coach them if they don't understand something. You are the team leader, so you should manage your team.
Okay, madam, I have heard all that, and I'm looking forward to its accession.
Uh, well, uh, yes, I'm also looking forward to this accusation. This is no simple answers to the questions of what motivations people. It all depends on the leader's ability to drive and organize.
Thank you, madam, and I'm looking forward to the day. But I have a suggestion. Uh, I, I think we should organize our staff to do group activities for an hour twice a week. For example, we could organize them to express express their views and discuss with each other based on some business knowledge, or play games on some websites, not only to promote teamwork skills, but also to promote team uh, cohesion. I'll list some suggestion. Do a poll. Send it out to our members working groups and choose what members think it's the most appropriate way to move forward on how to develop it. I think the best thing about our members is that they are until enough. United enough. They can certainly vote for the master that best suits them and has a good prospect for the company.
Well, your ideas are excellent, but have you ever wondered what to do if there is a disagreement in the ballot paper? you've just come up with a few ideas that you will think work from your own subjective point of view. I would suggest that you could list a few issues, and use a questionnaire format for our members to express their views on the points you have raised, and then conclude that the most frequently occurring issues that are the ones that we should address first and foremost. For example, there is a strong evidence that performance benefits when employees are regularly monitoring their progress towards goals, so more intimate feedback, and an ongoing focus on improvement is indeed essential. The research has also identified aspects of performance appraisal that are often overlooked or arguably need more attention. For example, the two uses of appraisals for learning and development purpose and for administrative purpose to inform pay and promotion decisions involve different cognitive processes. So it is best to focus on the two in the separate meetings and keep them as separate as possible. And besides, there is strong evidence that the way employees respond to feedback, more than the methods of feedback itself, it has a crucial impact on the likelihood or future performance improvement. It is therefore vital that employees feel that appraisals are both fair and useful, maybe, which means they need to feel like they have a say in the process. It's crucial to think about the employees themselves.
Yes, I will take your questions seriously. I have also considered, for example, if a member of our team or a member of his family is unable to complete a performance review on team because of COVID-19, we need to take into account the time it takes for him to go to the hospital for tests, and in situation, CRP, we also need to have extra tests done by colleges around us to avoid the risk of infection, which will be time consuming, and we should all time into account. We also need to take into account the bonuses for the person who takes over his job afterwards, and the arrangements for his return to the company, because not only do we have to deliver results on time and keep the company running profitably, we also need to take care of our employees' emotions.
Therefore, you need to draft these issues that you mentioned and give me some feedbacks as soon as possible, probably by next Monday. If you have enough time, we will commence their execution. I will also bring some specialists to train you on managing your team, after which I will managing the progress before calling you for the next meeting. You are now free to go and focusing on we discussed objectives.
Thank you, madam. Have a good day.
Well done. Have a good day. It's been a tough year, so let's lead the team in holding on and believing that we can do it. Thank you.